Namaste. Welcome to Love Wings. Welcome to this space. This is my meditation bench on the back of the property. It divides our land from the open fields. I got the pups out here. My boys are playing. I'm watching wild butterflies. There is lawnmower distraction in the distance, and kids are running around. They may come, they may not. I don't know. But I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful reality. And let's get into it. Let me burn the sage real quick. Put the mic down. Ooh, I dropped it. I brought some baby pieces out here. I got a story to tell you. I hope you're liking the midnight messages. I really like the midnight messages. I guess we can call this one morning dew because it's early morning and I had to walk through the dew to deliver this message. I don't want to lose this piece of sage. We'll just hold it up. All right, so I'm going to tell you a story. Imagine, okay, hypothetically speaking, you're born at a time of a great timeline shift, a prophesized time and a reality, and a spiritual war between dark and light. Born into a position where both worlds are physically at play, and you're a young child. You're a young child with one parent awakened to the mission and coming into their awakening, who is lived under the illusion and waking up from the illusion and stepping out of severe trauma and learning how to meditate and learning how to connect and just trying to do what's right for the right reasons. But still, you're still coming out of all of these traumas in this life that has binds on you. It has holds, it has hooks, right? Now you can resonate from the child with the awakened parent. You can resonate as the awakened parent. You can resonate as someone who is completely doesn't even believe in this awakening stuff and thinks that those people are a whole bunch of quacks, right? You're a cross watcher. And this space is protected. Now, back to the young child. The awakened parent has realized that the thing holding them back was the things they give their love and attention to the most. The people in their life that they love the most are the ones harming them the most. And not harming them, they're not even aware of it. They're just defending their egos, defending their pride, and not wanting their demons their darkness, the things they do in the dark behind closed doors to come to light. Because the persona of the person that is presented in the public, it doesn't match the heart and intention of the person's inner worlds, right? But then you have this other party separated now and trying to figure out how to raise kids with this person and getting really excited about the waking up journey. So you go through that phase when you first wake up where you want to share it with the whole world, right? And those are the things they use against you when they're trying to create their campaign about you. And they turn every single person that you care about against you. And they do it so subtly, so subtly. But imagine being young, raised by this outside of the box, chasing creation, a dream, an idea, all of these oppositional forces coming against this dream. So your experience of this person chasing this dream, you didn't get to see the dream fulfilled. And because the dark forces on the other side, the ones that don't want this dream to be fulfilled, because within the act of this dream being fulfilled, all of their darkness gets exposed. So at all costs, we can't let the world see the light that this light worker sees. And I'm going to call this person a light worker. This individual, right? And you start to see the corruption within all of the organizations, all of the things that are deemed normal. You start to see the corruption in it. So you want to do things differently. You see how the food is poisoned. So you start creating your own food. And these children learned how to step away from the poisons. They made their own food. They learned how to make their own food. Pasta from organic tomatoes. Boiled, blended. Herbs from the herb garden. Not gluten pasta, because gluten equals glutton, and glutton equals sin, and sin equals, well, you see the world, sick, obese, pestilence, death, destruction, dependent on pharmaceuticals. Not necessary pharmaceuticals, because the cause is the things they're dependent on, is making them sick. But these things that make you sick, they look good, they smell good, they taste good, they feel good. These poisons, these toxins, they're in everything. And when you're young, and everyone's telling you that you're being led by a crazy person, you don't want to look crazy yourself, because, you're just trying to find yourself. You're just trying to find yourself, and you want to fit in. You want to fit in. Everyone wants to fit in. We all go through that. We want to fit in, right? So we portray the things that set you apart, that make you different. We allow the naysayers, the talkers, the ones living in fear to get in our heads, to get in our hearts. And all of a sudden the story gets flipped around because this crazy person was wrong. Because there need to be natural There's something wrong with that. The desire to step away from control, and create flow was looked at as an inability to form structure. Natural ways of moving your body like yoga, beach walks, swimming, rollerblading, even though rollerblades are man-made, riding bicycles, play, hikes, lots of walks, lots of play, lots of playground, lots of exposure, lots of exercise, but it wasn't structured. It didn't look like you couldn't, it wasn't formulated and presented on a platter called a curriculum, right? An education. Because the education wasn't indoctrinating. There was no curriculum. I didn't call school school. The parent didn't call school school. Because I didn't want them to feel the pressure. Because the pressure was there in the beginning, kindergarten and first grade. There was the pressure to perform, right? So I wanted to pull the pressure away because life has enough pressure. Divorces have enough pressure. Parents hiding dark traumas so kids aren't aware of the things that truly happened. Hiding them from the children to give them a happy life. Processing the pain, going through the healing, connecting to nature, promoting a love for life, right? And the child's dealing with mixed signals because you really are happy. Everyone's telling you what you're doing is wrong, though. That you're lazy because your choices aren't what other people believe your choices should be. So you're lazy, and that person's allowing you to be lazy. That person that you love and trust is allowing you to be lazy. So you start to feel guilt, and you start to feel shame. I'm not educated because I'm living outside of a box, and society is run in a box. Memorize facts. Rockefeller created it. Memorize facts. Raise your hand to go to the bathroom. Get in line. There is not a big difference between the prison system and the school system. Society creates workers. We didn't come here to be workers. We didn't come here to be slaves. We didn't come here to get in line. We came here to flow and to create, to love life, and to make a life, to design a life filled with love. Love of life, love of land, love of community. Everyone has a unique individual energetic signature and a unique gifts, and they're all good at something. Not everyone is a truth speaker who wakes up and whose duty is, their soul's purpose is to be that truth speaker, to wake people up, to be different. We're not all way showers. We all have our own things that spark us. But those of us who it's our duty to do this, we have a lot of oppositional energy, and this oppositional energy for many lifetimes has been stopping soul ascension. It's all energy. But when the other team, the other side, the system when this system sees souls awakening, there's a lot of distraction. I see you, Bella.
No!
I saw you in the corner.
How do you see me?
You see her shirt, the back of her shirt, on Mom's last nerves. She tries. I love her though. But the devil is a lie, right? It's in the advertising, it's in the media. They paint a pretty picture. I call it the Disney picture. The bubblegum life, the picket fence, the need to be normal, right? The need to be normal. So you take the insecurities of a young soul divided between perspectives, just wanting to please everybody, because, you know, that's what we all want to do. We want to be loved, we want to be accepted, we want to be, you know, we want the people we love to be happy. We don't want to hurt anybody. But what's real? What's real, right? That's what we're faced with at a young age. What's real? Well, this life looks like pizza, McDonald's, sodas, trips, concerts, lots of friends, lots of people who heard how crazy and different your life was, and oh my God, I can't believe you went through all of that. When people give you love and attention for the things you went through, it plays into thoughts creating reality. And now this reality, that it was different. It was different because so many people were saying it was wrong. Now it was wrong, and now you believe it was wrong. And you are now, deep in your belief system, living an illusion and a delusion. You can very well say the crazy person, we're going to call that person crazy because that's what they call them. The awakened person is living an illusion and a delusion. So let's take all that away. Let's take spirit out of it. That's what they do in school, right? They take spirit out of it. Let's look at facts. Energy is truth, right? Schools were made for factory workers. The success rate, the percentage of kids who have an unsuccessful experience versus the ones that do have a successful experience, we're looking at the numbers, all of the children, right? Because I have 4 kids. 2 are too young to determine because they're at the beginning phase. And 2, I just told you their story. I just told you their story, and I have facts, and I have video footage of our life because we grew up in the era of digital documentation and social media. And they wish I would have contacted them, and I did. And I have 4 or 5 years of messages, of attempts to come to see them, attempts to reach out to them. They were avoiding me. They were ashamed of me. I brought them shame. Not only was I awakened, I was a stripper. And I was open about it. But I don't regret anything. Because God puts us in the dark to be that light, right? And everyone's mission is different. And I serve God. I'm a child of God. I know my mission. They called Jesus crazy too. They hung him on the cross. We've done this for many lifetimes. We carry witch wounds. That's why with speaking our truth, we create this fear builds up in speaking our truth, because we know what we're up against. A very manipulative system designed to keep you numb and dumb. Head down, look down, don't look up. Keep moving forward. Eat the hamburger. Consume the french fries. Suck down the soda. Watch the TV. Stare at your phone. Call it structure. Call it education. Memorize a whole bunch of facts of false knowledge. Whole bunch of facts of false knowledge. False information. False science. Useless facts. Slap a diploma on it. Congratulations. You get to raise your hand when you go to the bathroom, Good job. And I'm not against education. I'm not even against schooling. I believe there's a lot of people doing the right things for the right reason. I was never against my children going to school. I made it happen. The son that wanted to go to school, he went to school 2 different times. Once with my sister and once up here with my mom. We had to flow through what was working best for us. Every family's got to flow through something. Life throws you curveballs, and it's how you adjust to those curveballs that matter. You know what I never did? I never lost my shit. I stayed in high vibration. I stayed moving forward. I stayed forging my path. I picked myself up every time I got knocked down. I moved through it. I did the best I could do. When my children were not in my care, I was financially providing for them without financial support from fathers. How is that wrong? How is that wrong? They wanted to go to school, I made it happen. When they went to their dads, I wanted to be a part of it. I literally got pushed out of their life. Wanted to be a part of it. The exact message I said is, I just want to be a part of it. I just want to be a part of their life. Mom, you're making Dad mad. I remember it like it was yesterday, because it was the deepest heartbreak I've ever endured, was losing my boys. Losing my boys to a belief, a false belief, an agenda. And for them to wake up to the fact that people used and abused them and manipulated them and turned them against me, that's a lot to handle. They're going to go through a lot to come into that realization. If they come into that realization, they could call me crazy for the rest of their life and stay on the other side. And it doesn't change my love for them. I love them unconditionally. My soul chose to birth their souls, and their souls chose me to birth them for a reason. So for whatever reason that be, God knows what God's doing. And my faith, my mustard seed, never lost it. I never will. Oh, you feel that beautiful wind bath? Thank you, Spirit. That feels good. I just got a huge hug from the earth. Call me crazy. Tell me I need to grow up. Funny thing about that, be adult, grow up. It is the healing of the inner child that is what is most needed on this planet. For every adult to stop trying to grow up and to connect back to that inner child. That's why I put this hat on. I used to wear hats like this when I was in 7th grade. I loved that show Blossom, and sunflowers were my favorite, and I used to draw sunflowers all the time. So this hat right here is just such an inner child healing to be out here at 44 years old in my sunflower hat, hanging out with nature, watching butterflies. And when this video is over, I'm gonna play with my kids, and I'm gonna make art, and I'm gonna pick up some things that I need to be responsible about and clean them up. And it's trash day, and yeah, you balance the practical with the spiritual, and you have a balanced life. But the thing is, the things that I'm being accused of, those things are untrue. I was never against education. You were educated. There is proof of that. You were not at the level. Imagine being this child, so we'll go back to the story. Living outside the box, being raised outside of the box, wanting to fit in the box. And when you want to fit in the box, when you've been outside of the box, it's not easy. The pressure to perform gets turned on, right? So accountability is the hardest thing for people to do on this planet. So it's easy to blame somebody. So who do you blame? You blame the crazy person. You blame the crazy person that showed you life outside of the box. Because now that you're trying to fit in the box, there's a whole lot of pressure. And it's not easy. But it doesn't mean you're not educated and you weren't educated. It just means you're not supposed to fit in the box. But you wanted it and you did it. So that shows how strong you are. That shows how educated you truly were, because you don't go into high school, jump into high school, having zero education, and rock that shit the way you rocked that shit. So like, when you're ready to have real talk, I'm here. I've always been here. You don't even gotta talk to me. Just go into your heart, because the energy will shift. The energy will shift, and it's felt. Through all timelines, dimensions, and space, energy is felt. And when those hard blocked locks on your heart get unlocked, I'll feel the shift. Because, my dear, I'm not crazy. I'm connected. Connected. And love wins. Love wins. So, there's a lot of heat coming my way. A lot of heat coming my way. I say let them bring the heat. Let them investigate. I was born for this. I leave y'all. And I want to say one thing, okay? Not everybody has demons. Not everybody has demons. I'm not saying just because you don't see things the way other people see them, that you have demons. I'm saying this is a spiritual war, right? And a lot of people are just fighting their flesh. The flesh does not want people to walk serving God. The flesh don't want the soul in charge. So what you're seeing is a lot of people battling flesh. Battling flesh. So 1 Corinthians 2:14, I'm going to leave y'all with a little verse. The natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolish to him. Nor can he know them, for they are spiritually discerned. Right? So what that means is literally the story I just told you. To be a regular man, the things of God are foolish. Actually, the things of God. Not going to church on Sunday, okay? Not going to church on Sunday, asking Jesus to fucking bless you for your sins, and then turning around and being that same person and doing those same things. That toxic cycle, that insane toxic cycle is not living of God, like truly living of God. Truly living of God. When the Most High flows through you, and the action you take, the right action you take, is guided by a higher power. And you do the right things for the right reasons. And this message is brought to you by the Most High Mother and Father. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful reality. If you can relate, if you can resonate, this is a collective. My story is your story. Our stories. We came here to live the stories, to share the stories, to transmute the story, and to let go of the story. You gotta heal it to feel it. So if my boys are watching this and you really want to talk, come home. Come home. It's been 6 years. You don't know your brother and sister. You don't know me. I'm not who you remember. Don't stand on the outside and cast judgment. Come home. Experience. Be present. Open your heart. Give love a shot. And to the rest of y'all who sat with me, sat through this story, thank you. Thank you for your presence, for my tribe, to my soul family. The time is now. We're walking away from karmic families and we're stepping into our true soul family. Timelines have split. Hearts are being weighed. Judgment has been cast. Time to create care communities. Care, C-A-R-E, create a responsible environment. That's what we're doing here, okay? I love you. Love wins. Thanks for being here.